What if your body was a gift and contribution to your life and not something that you've been stuck with? What if your body could change quickly and easily? Right Body for You will inspire you and show you a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Now here's your host, Donnielle.
And welcome everyone to Right Body for You. I am excited and glad to be with you guys today. This still remains one of my favorite things to do each week is to share tools, tips, tricks, information with all of you, whether you're listening now, in the past, or in the future. In the past, you say, hey, you know what? The more I get into this crazy thing called energy, the more I'm aware, listening in the past, entirely possible. My name is Donnielle. I have been involved with radio for 30 years at least, and involved with people and bodies, well, all of my life technically, because I have a body, but involved with helping other people with their bodies about the same number of years. My mom was a nutritionist as well as a health talk radio show host, which is, there you go, folks, why I've been involved with both for over 30 years. And, you know, it was about, 8 years ago, over 8 years ago at this point, where I first encountered the tools of Right Body for You and the tools of Access Consciousness. And it changed everything in my life, you know, things that I had been struggling with my body, things I had been struggling with in my life, and asking a question, which is the basis of a lot of the Access Consciousness and Right Body for You tools, is asking a question and getting an awareness. You know, just that really shifted and changed a lot. You know, at that time I was taking care of my grandparents. Well, I don't know if taking care of them, I was their caretaker for the last couple of years of their life, and then they had died. And so I was in that state of like, ooh, what do I do now? Do I go back to TV because I was a promotion manager, or do I do something else? And I was doing something else when I was choosing to do something else when Access Consciousness and Right Body for You crossed my path. And my life has never been the same, thankfully. I am grateful for the tools of Access Consciousness and Right Body for You each day. And for me, what's interesting is one of the things that it changed the most was my shyness. You know, even though I've been involved in radio for over 30 years, I was very shy. I wasn't on the radio. I was behind the scenes, answering the phones, running the board, things like that. Actually, talking on the radio, heavens, no. Being on camera, heck no. It's worse because then you get to see me, not just hear me. And so I have now, you know, I've been doing Right Body for Your radio show over 2 years, and then I also had a radio show with my mom for 4 years before she passed away. And so it's really been interesting that, you know, I use the Access Consciousness Right Body for You tools just desiring something different in my life. And it wasn't even to change my body, but just desiring something different in my life. Being shy wasn't one of those things. It wasn't something that I went, oh, well, yes, I need to stop being shy. You know, somewhere I'd already decided that it wasn't changeable. And so becoming not shy was a side effect, as well as my body side effect of using these tools. And now I get to share them with you each week. And, you know, today we're talking about resolutions, which is why I'm really going into all of this. You know, I didn't have a goal of being less shy. I didn't have a goal of changing my body. I just had a demand in my universe that something changed. And then the Access Consciousness tools and Right Body for You tools showed up. You know, Right Body for You is a division of Access Consciousness. It's Access Consciousness focused on the body, actually. So it is one and the same. And so often when we look at resolutions, we get the water gets muddy. The water gets confused. You look at it and you're like, well, I should be doing this, shouldn't I? Because, it's that time of year. And what it is it's that time of year, and here's the thing, we start looking at the past to determine the future, specifically the future that we, quote unquote, need to change. I mean, do you guys get that? Resolutions at the base of it is telling you, it's like, oh, resolution time. You know what? The life and body you have right now are not acceptable. Find something to change. And so what do? This really gets us into a time of judging. It's like Christmas is over, the time of, in theory, giving and caring and gratitude and things like that. And then, flip a light switch. Now it's time to judge you. See where your life isn't okay. See where your body isn't okay. And then, because we use judgment to determine that. Do you guys get that? When we start looking at resolutions, the nature of resolutions say, hey, you know what? Now is the time. You have to do it because, of course, the beginning of the year is the perfect time to start a resolution. And then, with everybody else, we're going to do resolutions, and then we're going to set these goals, and then we're going to change our lives because the life you have, the body you have, isn't good enough. Slow judgment, okay? So during the show today, we're actually going to start looking at, I love the title of this, 5 things to resolve about resolving resolutions. Me and words, I like to play with those. So we're going to start looking at this. I do have 5 specific things to suggest, 5 specific suggestions, tips, tricks for you to start looking at resolutions differently and what may be actually possible then with it, okay? So let's talk about resolutions a little bit, okay? Resolutions are the place, who decided it was that only the first of the year or the first of the week? Have you guys noticed that? It's like, oh, it's Monday, I'll start the diet on Monday. Or New Year. It's like we've put all of this, it's starting new for our timeline. So, of course, we must change that, everything else as well. This is the only time of the year because, heaven forbid you start change on a Wednesday or February 14th. Oops, Valentine's Day. That was an interesting date to pull out randomly. Okay, let's look at March 10th. Heaven forbid you start changing something on March 10th because, if you don't do it on January 1st, then you're a failure. Maybe it's okay, you missed January 1st. Okay, February 1st. Because, you can't do it in the middle of the week. You can't do it in the middle of the month, or heaven forbid, the middle of the day. Anybody else ever do that one of, this day is already shot. I'll just start again tomorrow. What's ever happening with starting right now? What one thing you could change right now that would set in motion the life that you desire? Anything doesn't allow that, destroy and create it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, online, tours, boys, and beyond. So, I'm laughing in my own head. Somebody said my OCD doesn't like to change on a Wednesday. But see, I was born on a Wednesday. So, if you really want to get into the tricky, tippy, that kind of fun stuff, you could find anything. One thing I'm really good at is being a spin doctor. Meaning I was good at marketing. I'm good at seeing the other side of things, which is actually really helps me for you guys and in private sessions and classes and stuff like that, is my ability to, see the other side and look at it from a different place, which is what a lot of Access Consciousness and Right Body for You is actually all about. So, hey, so this person in the chat room said my OCD doesn't like change on a Wednesday. Well, I was born on a Wednesday. So if we have to do the things at the start, then the start of my life is on a Wednesday. So follow that one through, and then I should start things on a Wednesday, because then that's truly a cycle of, of completion or whatever else you want to call it. So Monday would be the start for me. Wednesday would be the start for me. Okay? You see and I'm playing with this just to invite you guys to be able to see something different and really get beyond all of those places where we start making those excuses. If you're wanting to eat better, then, first of all, we can talk about judgment of eating better and all that kind of stuff, but just, you have this target, you talk to your body, and your body wants to eat better. And so you go, oh, well, you know what? I had a Coke for breakfast, and so the day's already shot, so screw it, I'm going to Taco Bell. I'll start again tomorrow. Well, what if you didn't have any more excuses? Okay? That isn't actually one of the 5 tips I have for today, but one of them could be, what if you have no more excuses? What excuse are you using to not create the change that you say you desire? Okay? So I find that really interesting. And everything that is starting to create right, wrong, fuck on choice boys, which is a very quick version of the Access Consciousness Clarion Statement. You don't have to know what it is for it to work. You just say, yes, I will not live by excuses anymore, or I'm willing to change that, and just that allows it to work. And so from there, it's all energy, okay? And, we talked a lot about energy. Hey, put a nickel in me, I will talk about energy forever, which is funny because I used to go, energy? I don't know what that is. Which now everything is energy, including words. One of my favorite things is looking at the energy behind words, which is one of my 5 tips. And it's actually made the words I use as a writer stronger. So many people go, oh, well, then words aren't necessary. Well, words can be a tool too. So how would you like to use them? Okay. All right, so we're going to go for our first little break. When we come back, I'm going to start sharing 5 tips and tricks to resolving resolutions so you can actually, change something or be okay with something. Okay, so we're gonna get into that. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer. It's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at A2Zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, the voice in your head, Donnielle. Those of you who've been in my classes get that. I'm a little sarcastic. Who knew? Oh yeah, I did. I just didn't allow it out very much. But since Access and Right Body for You, definitely outside of my head, just not inside of my head. And speaking of which, before we get into the tips and tricks, I'd really like to invite you to a special series I'm doing starting January 2nd. It's called Shattering the Lie of Body Image. And I'm really, really excited for this teleseries. It's a 4-call series. And it's inspired because every once in a while I do pop-up calls. It's like a subject grabs me and says, talk about this. And I'm like, okay, let's explore, let's play. And I did one on Shattering the Lie of Body Image, and it was phenomenal. People demanded more. So I created this 4-part series called Shattering the Lie of Body Image, the series. And it starts January 2nd. And what's really fun about this is, especially at the first of the year, as we're talking about resolutions and things and changing your body, changing your life, we tend to step into those places where it's like, oh, well, you know what? It has to be this way. My body has to look this way. My body has to be, if I'm in America, it has to be tall, blonde, thin, tan. Well, you know what? I'm 5'2" on a good day. I was born with red hair, so I'm not really likely ever going to be tan. Haven't yet. We'll see. Talk to my body. And, and it goes on from there. So it's like, if I'm not trying to create my body from that image that isn't actually possible, well, then what actually does become possible? Okay? So those are just some of the things we're going to start exploring on this 4-part series. And like I said, I'm really excited about this because what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 of them. It's a 4-part call. We're going to do 2 calls on January 2nd and 3rd, and then we're going to do another set of 2 calls, 10th and 11th. It's all the same series, but there's a week in between each back-to-back call. So I'm really curious to see what that will create, especially between the calls, what's going to go on. So if you'd like to know more about that, please go to Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com, and you can watch a little video, find out more information, all of that kind of fun stuff, okay? Oh, and speaking of, you know what, please join us next week for Right Body for You. I have a couple of big announcements. You're going to see some big change for everybody. And I also have a big announcement for 2017 that I'm really going to be excited about. So, yes, I'm a tease. I know it. You guys love me for it. So please do check that out on next week's Right Body for You radio show. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so today we're talking about things to resolve for resolving resolutions. Because I don't know about you, but I've tried to set resolutions in the past. Sometimes I've succeeded. Sometimes I've succeeded a little bit. Sometimes I've succeeded none, which some people call failure. And I've run the gamut. And I know a lot of people have run the gamut with this. As a matter of fact, lately it's almost become a joke. You know what I mean? It's become a joke of, ooh, let's see how long it is before I fail at this. Hey, what else is possible, right? Well, what if it's not about you have to fail? What if it's about the energy you're putting into this, and then what is actually possible when you shift some of the energy behind that, okay? So one of the first things I want to suggest is something I started talking about before we went to the first break, of looking at the energy of the words, okay? I'm a wordsmith. I'm a writer. I love looking at the energy behind words. And when I first started Access and Right Body for You, I did the crazy thing that so many other people do and completely dismissed what I know previously, okay? And what I mean by that is I dismiss some of the words. I went, oh, well, if it's energy, then I don't necessarily need to. So now look at the words you're using for these resolutions. And what I mean by that is first start, okay, really briefly, because I know we have a lot of stuff to get through, is you want to look at the original definition of words, okay? Because when, energy is the first language, and when we first started putting words to energy, that is when we had the awareness of what word would match the energy. So you want to go from that. Because in 1946, definitions were changed, but here's the thing, the energy behind the word doesn't change. So you always really want to go back to the original definition, okay? So for me, I look at resolution. What the heck does that mean, right? So what's interesting is a resolution is a breaking into parts, which, hey, we're breaking our life and our body into parts, right? Process of reducing things into simpler forms, a sense of a solving, okay? A sense of decision or expression of a meeting, which is very interesting, okay? So from there, one of the first things I suggest for resolutions is making it a target, not a goal, okay? What the heck do I mean by that? Well, if you look at the original definition of goal versus target, okay, any of you, when you talk about setting goals, any of you go, woohoo, so much is possible, yay, let's go, woohoo, goals, yeah, goals. Give me a G, give me an A, or dyslexia strikes at random. Anyway, how many of you actually stand up and do a cheerleading thing? Or how many of you sit there and go, oh, set a goal? And you feel like something will put a weight on your chest, and you automatically have something to overcome, and just, does it feel light and fuzzy, or does it feel like a stop? Or, something that is harder to do. Well, there may be a reason for this. If you look at the original definition of the word goal, it means to hinder or impede or to put in jail. Literally, to put in jail. Look it up. It is fascinating, okay? And I did a great video on goal versus target, and we can put that on the replay page as well on Facebook, okay? And here's the other thing with goal, is to hinder or impede. So basically, that means to stop. Even when you look at sports, it's like, oh, you make a goal, woohoo, game stops, or the gameplay stops, you reset, whatever it is, okay? You make a goal, you get a point, and it stops. You hinder or impede yourself, or a lovely thing. And so, but the other aspect of this, besides that, is a goal is a very firm definition of what the result has to look like, okay? I'm going to lose 50 pounds. Very firm. Anything that's not 50 pounds then is a failure. If you lose 49 pounds, you fail. If you lose 51 pounds, you're overachiever, right? Or I've lost 50, I can stop now and go back to McDonald's or, whatever it is. With a target, what it is you're able to go a direction. Like, oh, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. And then using some of the other tips and tricks, you're able to receive information, okay? Because that's the basis of it. When you have a goal in mind, it's a firm decision or judgment. So you can only go one direction. You've already decided, and when you decide and judge what the result's going to look like, you stop allowing other information in of what might be changeable, what might be required to change something, or what is no longer required, okay? That really at the basis is the crux of a goal versus target. Is a goal, you don't let any more information in, versus a target, you're constantly in that flow of information, of energy, because you've not decided what the result's going to look like. You have an idea of what the result will look like, and then you go from there. Kind of like, I'm going to go up over that mountain and then see what's on the other side. Okay. So let's say, you have that goal of losing 50 pounds. Okay. So if you decided I'm going to lose 50 pounds, and then it's like, I'm going to do it this way, boom, 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 boom. And then you hit those plateaus, you do whatever. It's like, oh, I need torture. Well, with a target, when it's like, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, go in that direction, and you reach one of those plateaus, you go, okay, what more information do I require here? Does my body desire to lose any more weight? Or what needs to shift and change for it to actually start losing weight again? Okay, so that is at the crux of goal versus target. Is target, you still receive information about what you're desiring, whereas goal eliminates all other information. Okay, I know it feels like a silly little thing talking about words, but energy, everything we're doing is really about the energy, and words have an energy to them. Okay, so why create a problem or a kink in your universe by the words you're using? Why not use the words to create an ease or smoothing or an awareness of some sort? Okay, so just try it out. First thing I would suggest is make it a target, not a goal. So everywhere you're like, I'm going to set my goal, scratch it out. Target. I'm going to do a target. My target could be writing a book. My target could be losing weight. My target could be emptying a box in my office. My target could be a number of things, whatever it is for you, okay? Because, and again, you still get information, and a goal, anything that doesn't match that is automatically a failure. Hello. All of this is trying to get you out of judgment instead of inviting you to judgment. So change the goals into targets. Just see if that lightens the energy, if it makes it heavier, if it shifts anything at all. Just try it out. You might be surprised, okay? We're gonna take our next little break. When we come back, don't worry, we still have 2 through 5 of tips and tricks to resolving resolutions so that you can actually create something you desire in your life today. Okay? All right, this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You on A to Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. Today we're talking about resolving things, 5 things to resolve about resolving resolutions. It's that time of year, right? People go, oh, now is the time to create resolutions. Now is the time to change something that you've always wanted to change, or about your body, about your life, about your business, whatever it is. Now is the time. If you do it later, you're a failure. If you do it now, no. And people, one of the things I hear a lot is eat, drink, and marry, for tomorrow is the first of the year, right? Eat, drink, and be merry because tomorrow the diet starts. Eat, drink, and be merry and screw off today because tomorrow is January 1st and you have to be serious about your life and everything, which is so funny because we eat, drink, and marry and be crazy on New Year's Eve. And then the next morning we're supposed to start with this whole new life, and I know a lot of people are hungover, whether it's other people's hangover, your own hangover, whatever it is. I do find it interesting that we are supposed to start this new life when we feel like crap. It's interesting, isn't it? You wonder how much that actually contributes to the lack of success of some of these resolutions. So at the beginning of the show, I started talking about who said you only had to start things at the first of the week, the first of the year. That's the only time. And that is acceptable, and especially because everybody's doing it right now. Okay, it's time for your resolutions. What's your resolutions? I mean, have you noticed people don't tend to ask, do you have any resolutions? They ask, what are your resolutions? And though they may say sometimes the words, do you have any resolutions? It's really the judgment of, do you have any resolutions? Because you should have resolutions. Because if you don't have a resolution, then obviously you're already choosing to fail. And if you're already choosing to fail, then why even start it? So you're really just a dumb idiot if you don't have any resolutions. So, truth, do you have any resolutions? And it's like, oh my gosh, such pressure, such expectations, such judgment. Well, what if it never actually belonged to you? Okay. One of the first things I really truly suggest is don't buy into the hype of the new year. What works for you when? Okay. So get clear on what you desire to create. Okay. This is number 2 or 3. I don't know where we are. Get clear on what you desire to create. People go, oh, well, if you're ever going to start a diet, January 1st is the time to start a diet. Well, who says? And who says you need to diet? Okay? Who says your life is broken? I'm a big fan of change, but not from a change of judgment, not from the place of something is wrong, so you have to fix it, instead of just, what would you like to change? What would you like to play with? Okay? So one of the first things I would suggest is get clear on what you desire to create. We've been taught in this reality, find what's broken, find what's wrong, and fix it. So at this time of the year, like I said, Christmas is over, gratitude's done. Okay, judgment time. What's wrong with my life? What's wrong with my body? What resolution can I set? What goal can I set for the first of the year? Oh my gosh. Well, what if it's not about fixing something that's broken? Because then you're just judging that your life and your body are broken. What if you could actually create the same thing? And remember, we're talking about words, right? So what if you could create the same thing? What if you could go, body, because I'm a big fan of communication with the body. Like, body, do you want to lose weight? And then you do it from that place of contribution to you and your body goes, yeah, let's do it. It's like, okay, woohoo. So you don't come from that energy of, oh my gosh, I am so fat, I have to lose weight. Instead of like, hey, body, would you like to shift and change the weight? Sure, okay, let's go. Or your body's going to go, no, I'm good. Okay, cool. So what if you don't have to start the new year from that place of negativity, judgment, and deficit to be able to create something different for the new year? So first off, destroy and uncreate anywhere you think, oh, it's the January 1st is coming. I have to have a resolution. I have to change my life. Now is the time. I have to do it. Well, no, you don't. What would you like to create? And then what would it take to have it not be from a deficit, not be from that negative, but instead just from what you would like to create? Okay? So, truth, what do you desire? To create you, not somebody else. Destroy and create and return to sender. Everything right now of like, now is the time, you have to do it. And if you start on January 2nd, you're already closed. You might as well just, eat, drink, and be merry forever because you're already screwed. Well, what if you get to eat, drink, and be merry because tomorrow's another day and because you're enjoying today and you can still change your life? What if you didn't have to judge it for it to be wrong? Okay. Here's the next one, or third one. I believe we're on 3. Don't look to the past, okay? This is part of the whole judgment thing. Don't look to the past has at least 2 facets to it, if not more, okay? First off is like if you have the target of losing weight or getting muscles, strength, things like that for your body, okay? Well, or something like, I liked my life when I was in my 20s. What would it take to be that life again? So with the body thing, for example, it's like, okay, when I was in my 20s, I was thinner and I lost a bunch of weight and I just stopped eating. So obviously that's what's going to work now. And so without question, we automatically go into the past of it worked last time, so of course it's going to work this time, okay? Well, are you who you were yesterday? I could say, are you who you were when you were in your 20s, and people could judge themselves for that. Oh, I'm not who I was in my 20s, and now it's going to be so much harder to change my body because blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm referencing, folks, okay? That's that point of view and judgment of other people. Blah, destroyed and great. You aren't the same person you were yesterday. Okay? So something that shifted and changed your body 5 days ago might not be what shifts and changes your body today. So this is one aspect of don't look to the past. Just because it worked last time, great. It will work this time. Okay? You're different. Your body is different. You may live in a different place. You may be with different people. So you have different information, okay? Whether it's a question or whether it's something more of a diet plan or modality, you have different information. So don't look to the past. Just because it worked last time doesn't mean it's going to work this time. And just because it, quote unquote, failed last time doesn't mean it won't work for you this time, okay? So that's one aspect of don't look to the past to create your future, because so one aspect. If it worked last time, doesn't mean it'll work this time. The other aspect of don't look to the past is, how I said, oh, my life was lovely when I was in my 20s, and I just want my life to be like that again. Your life is different now. Part of the problem is it's like, I want my life to be like what it was when I was in my 20s. You're not that person. You're not that time and place. So when you say something like that, you automatically set yourself up for failure. And we wonder why these resolutions and goals don't work so often. How many of you are setting a goal that immediately leads to failure? And this is the don't look to the past, the other aspect of this. Because if you say something like, I want my life to be like when I was in my 20s, or I want my life to be like when I was with Joe Bob, because when I was with Joe Bob, then things were cool, then you can only look for that energy or that apartment or whatever it is. And so you start cutting off possibility. And in that cutting off possibility, you automatically set yourself up for failure, okay? So this not looking to the past to create the future is actually pretty huge. Now, why I'm asking you to pay really attention to this is also the energy of it, okay? It's not like, when I was in my 20s, I was more confident. That may be something that is what you desire from that time period, but you misidentify and misapply and say it's, I want to be like I was when I was in my 20s. I don't know about you, but I was stupider and shyer when I was in my 20s. But something I would desire from my 20s is the excitement and adventure of knowing everything and anything was possible. Great. So if you're looking to your life as a certain space, time, or whatever, don't look at it as a whole. It was perfect then. It's like, no, what energy then are you desiring now? So if you look at it from the energy aspect, it's like, okay, so what would it take to be that energy of adventure possibility now that I had then? Okay? Can you guys perceive it's a little bit different than, I wish I was like when I was in my 20s. Solidification, decision, cutting off awareness, right? Kind of like restrictive. Or, hey, when I was in my 20s, I had a great sense of possibility, awareness, anything was going to happen, create, cool. Great. Be that energy again. Okay? So looking to the past to create the future, whether it's for a program or for a time of life or business, a relationship, what if there was an energy about it you're desiring instead of the actual time, place, space, or person? Okay? So that's number 3. Don't look to the past. Okay? Number 4, which is an interesting one, is now the time. Okay? Is now the time. I used to judge myself a lot. I would have a great idea. I would have an excitement about something in my life, in my business, in my relationship, in my body. And I'd be like, great, I'm going to institute and do it right now. And then the day after, everything kind of stopped and fizzled. And so, of course, what does everybody do in this reality? I can't believe I failed so fast. Oh, my gosh. I was so excited, and then it just changed, and obviously I did something wrong, and it was just so hard, and oh my gosh, but some people, I will persevere, and then it just sucks and takes so much energy, and then some people go, I already failed, I'm such a piece of crap, and then just go on with their life. Well, one of the things I can strongly suggest about this whole resolution thing is you get an awareness of a possibility, changing your body, changing your life, your business, your relationship, whatever it is. One of the questions I highly, highly, highly suggest you ask is now the time? Okay? People go, I'm going to write a book. Cool. Is now the time for the book? Or are you just starting to sniff, get that energy of what is possible? Sometimes it's in the future. And yes, I know it sounds like a cop-out, you guys, but it's not. Please destroy it and create that judgment. But even with changing your body, whether it's losing weight, whether it's building muscle, whether it's dyeing your hair, I don't know, whatever it is, you can get an awareness of an energy that's possible, and it still could be possible in the future. So, wait. Am I saying that you could say, hey, body, do you want to lose 50 pounds? And it says yes. And then the next question is going to be, okay, is now the time? Your body can go, nope. Yes, this is exactly what I'm saying. It is now the time. This has helped me so much with not judging myself. This has helped me so much with actually creating more, because I'm doing it when the energy is contributing to it instead of just suggesting it, okay? So is now the time is one of those great questions to really help you create. And not just create, but create what you desire. And create with ease. What? Things can change with ease, create with ease? Absolutely. Is now the time, okay? Speaking of time, I know time isn't real, and we're going to take our last little commercial break. When we come back, we have number 5, drum roll, number 5 of 5 things to resolve about, what? Tongue twister, got myself. It is, I know. 5 things to resolve about resolving resolutions. Woo! Got myself on that one. Okay, so we're going to take a quick little break. This is Donnielle. We're on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
Check out the new ringtones from Access Consciousness.
What is it possible? What is it possible? Smoking hot. Smoking hot.
And everyone's favorite,
Take a pass. Take a pass.
download the latest and hottest accessory. Go to accessconsciousness.com/ringtones for all the details on how to download to your iPhone today.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at A2Zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, and today we are talking about 5 things to resolve about resolving resolutions. 5 things to really help you get out of that judgment of first that you have to do it, when you have to do it, and how you have to do it, to give you clarity on what it is you desire to create, when you to create it, and using words and languaging to assist you with it instead of words and languaging to make it harder on you. And so the 5th thing is a question. Truth. What would it take to create this? And I know some of you go, wait a minute, I've heard this one. Truth, what is it going to take to create this? Good. I hope you've heard it. I hope you've also used it. But the other aspect of this is you don't stop asking it. You know, there's one thing I see if people go, oh, I'm doing it all. I'm doing targets. I ask my body. I'm not doing goals. It is the time. I'm not looking to the past. Great. I asked the question, truth, what would it take to change this? And you know what? Things haven't changed. I'm like, okay, well, cool. Have you asked it again? What do you mean? Well, when did you ask? Truth, was it going to take this? Well, on January 1st with all the rest of the other people. I'm like, okay, but it's March. Have you asked again? They're like, but I got it. I asked, what's it going to take to change this? And my body, my universe, the universe, whatever, told me this, and then I've been on from then. Well, cool. And ask it again. This is not a question you ask once, because when we ask it once, we start to, and then never again, we've turned our awareness into a decision, into a judgment, into a goal. Because remember, one of the things about a target is that it helps you to keep receiving information. Well, part of that receiving information is asking this question daily. Truth, what's it going to take to create this? Truth, what's it going to take to create this? Anything needs to be different, okay? So keep asking, truth, what's going to take to create this, because things shift and change. Okay, that's the beauty of Target, is you get information of like, oh, you know what, for losing 50 pounds, you know what, for the first week I was eating nothing but eggs, and that seemed to work. The second week, eating nothing but eggs isn't really fun. Cool. Well, what does your body desire now, or what's required now? Maybe you got a bad batch of eggs. Maybe your body desires, eggs and bacon. I don't know. I make this stuff up. But so what's it going to take to change this? What's going to take to create this? These are questions you want to ask continually. Because do you guys get that? If you do that, you ask it once at the beginning, you've turned your awareness into a judgment instead of the awareness that was at that moment in time. Okay? Each one of these are huge. Each one of these 5 are huge things. I could do a whole show on it. Who knows? Maybe I will at the first of the year. That might be fun. Check it out. But please do. Please listen to the show again. There's a lot of information on there. 5 things to resolve about resolving resolutions, so you can actually create what you desire. Okay? And one of the things I'd like to invite you to help you create what you desire, especially with your body, is to join me for this Shattering the Lie of Body Image. It's a special 4-part teleseries coming up. I'm very excited about this. Oh, and here's the thing. If you guys took the original Shattering, there's a discount for you. The original Shattering one pop-up call, there's a discount for you. And if you didn't take the original pop-up call, when you register and pay before January 2nd, you get the original call also, which is a $45 USD value. Okay, so please do check it out. You can go to Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com for more information. I'm really looking forward to this series, and we did it at the beginning of the year intentionally. Let me assist you in your body to creating something beyond body image, to creating and getting a clarity on what it is that you desire, what is possible for you and your body right now, what would it take to actually create that. With my teleseries, we always have information, clearing, using the Access Consciousness tools, as well as actions, things to start implementing to help create what we're talking about, which is one of the reasons I'm so excited that we're doing 2 calls back-to-back on 2nd and 3rd, and then another 2 calls on the 10th and the 11th. So I'm really excited to see what comes out of that, okay? Shattering the Lie of Body Image, going beyond what we have been told in this society is what a body should look like, taste like, feel like, smell like, and gosh, what it would take to actually change that. And once you get clarity on what you and your body would like, how to go about doing that, okay? Questions, tips, tricks, you know me. I always have something up my sleeve, some question, some trick, some little thing to help you shift that energy to create what you desire with ease and purpose. Because I know a lot of us create accidentally. So what would it take to actually create what we desire instead of going, oh, thanks, this just showed up. Actually, you created it. So let's create what you desire, okay? You can go to Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE. While you're there, please check out the website. It's a new website, relatively new. Fun stuff on there, classes, videos, products. And if you want to do a private session with me, if now is the time for you to do a private session with me, there's a way to get in contact with me so you can set that up, and then you and I can chat for an hour and see what you and I can create together. It doesn't have to be about your body. It could be about anything, okay? Donnielle.com. So remember, make it a fun week. Make it a happy week. Enjoy your body because it's enjoying you. And until then, you guys, please have fun and join me next week because guess what? I'll be here with a big announcement. You don't want to miss it. All right? Have fun, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm. We hope you and your body will join us.